In this video, we are going to look at reclosers and how health index is applied to this asset. Let us first look at the modes of degradation for this asset class. The mechanical component of the interrupter is actually the most common method of recloser deterioration. Mechanical components are subjected to a great deal of wear and tear during normal use. Mechanical degradation on contacts, bearings, linkages, operating mechanisms, and rods is typical since the interrupter component works with high voltages and must perform multiple switching operations in a short amount of time. Now, there are three reasons why electrical connections would deteriorate. Well, first is that there will be surface melting and erosion as a result of electrical arcing's thermal stress. Number two is that there will be mechanical damage as a result of the rapid movement of contacts against each other. And the last or the third point is that the contact surfaces will oxidize as a result of high temperatures. Components of mechanical functioning mechanisms, such as linkages and bearings, deteriorate over time. The amount of breaker operations, environmental considerations such as harsh weather conditions, and how often repairs were conducted are all elements that contribute to degradation. Manufacturers' datasheets for reclosers frequently list the number of mechanical operations that can be performed before the device would eventually degrade. Harsh weather conditions, such as fluctuating moisture conditions and ultraviolet exposure, can cause moisture to enter the recloser system, causing it to malfunction. Corrosion and poor lubrication of the mechanical operating mechanism can further deteriorate performance, resulting in locked linkages. The lifespan of a pole-mounted recloser might be greatly reduced due to environmental factors. UV radiation, frequent cycles of wet and dry weather, wind conditions, and pollution all contribute to the recloser's shorter lifespan. Material deterioration and electrical erosion can occur under such circumstances. Now, when a material's electrical properties deteriorate, leakage currents might emerge. Seals and gaskets can deteriorate, allowing air, moisture, and contaminants to access the recloser's internal workings. The quality of seals and gaskets thus must be maintained at all times. Degradation of bushings can also be caused by environmental factors. Moisture intrusion or contaminants from seawater sprays and contaminated surroundings can cause bushing failure. Some recloser models contain oil, which plays an important role in extending the life of the recloser. Oil degrades at a rapid rate as a result of arc disruptions. In arc disruptions or interruptions, insulation and reclosing, however, the right amount and quality of oil is very critical. Oil must be replenished on a regular basis to ensure proper recloser operation. Climates that are more demanding necessitate more frequent maintenance. In the recloser's interrupting device, sulfur hexafluoride gas, or SF6, is also used as an insulating material. When SF6 is exposed to electrical arcing, it decomposes. While the majority of SF6 breakdown products reform back to SF6, arcing and corona can yield what we call the disulfur declafluoride, or S2F10, hydrogen fluoride, or HF, among other gases. And due to their corrosive natures, the disintegrated components may have an unfavorable effect on the interrupter's internal components. Lastly, a lot of the recloser models that you see do not contain any oil. Because oil decomposition induced by switching contributes to interrupter deterioration, the vacuum interrupter design degrades less than an oil interrupter, especially when switching occurs often. The longevity of a recloser is also determined by the device in question, notably its mechanical components. The number of mechanical operations allowed before degradation is commonly indicated on your recloser's datasheets issued by the manufacturer. So for testing the condition of oil in oil-insulated reclosures, there are several tests that can be used, and they're the dielectric strength, moisture, neutralization number, dissolved gas analysis or DGA, as well as the good old visual inspection. So let's go over each of these. So the first type of test is the dielectric strength. Insulating oil's dielectric breakdown voltage is a measurement of its capacity to endure voltage stress without failing. Under specified test conditions, it is the voltage at which a breakdown occurs between two electrodes. Now, the primary purpose of the dielectric strength test is to detect electrically conductive impurities in the oil, such as water, dirt, moist cellulose fibers, or particulate matters. A high dielectric breakdown voltage, on the other hand, does not actually imply the absence of all impurities. The second type of test is the moisture test. Water can appear in insulating liquids in a variety of forms. Visual examinations can reveal the existence of free water. The oil will appear murky, or detached water drops will appear on the bottom surface, most likely in some way or another. Filtration or other methods can be used to eliminate the presence of these free water. Dissolved water can alter the dielectric breakdown of insulating oil, but its importance is governed by a number of factors, including moisture saturation percentage and the amount and type of impurities. Now, the third type of test is the neutralization number type. The acidic components of an electrical insulating liquid are measured by what we call the neutralization number. An acid found in fresh oil is most likely a byproduct of the refining process. The neutralization number is a measure of the acidic byproducts of oil oxidation in a service-aged liquid. When deciding when oil should be reprocessed or changed, the neutralization number can be used as a general reference. Now, the fourth type of test is the dissolved gas, or also known as the DGA. The dissolved gas concentrations of the different gases are measured and analyzed as part of DGA, in which it covers gases such as the hydrogen, or H2, carbon dioxide, or CO2, carbon monoxide, CO, methane, CH4, acetylene, C2H2, ethylene, C2H4, ethane, C2H6, oxygen, O2, as well as nitrogen, N2. The combustible gas concentrations in oil, such as partial discharge activity, internal arcing, or overheated insulation. The last type of test is the visual inspections, and they are frequently the most effective method for detecting common problems that, if not addressed, can escalate to more serious problems. Now, visual inspections of pole-mounted reclosures will reveal a lot of things. For example, such as tanks that have been damaged or degraded, as well as the bus insulation condition, corroded or loose terminations, any deterioration of the control and operating mechanism, any oil leakage in oil-insulated reclosures at bushing metal contacts, flanges, breathers, pipelines, or gauges, any contaminations, chips, cracks, and flashover burns, and particularly in vacuum reclosures, vacuum bottle area. Also, another important thing for visual inspections with reclosures is that you should read the reclosure counter readings to see how many times it has operated. And be sure after recording it, some of the utilities will prefer to reset it so that you could actually keep track. But of course, before you reset it, you need to keep track of the records of that counter reading, just so that it will be accurate reflection of how many operations. But some utilities don't ever reset the counter readings, so and that will be actually the more preferred method. So it's actually your utility company's choice. So now let us look at the categories that compose the health index of reclosures. Now, the first category is service age. So with a rating of 4, it means that the reclosure is anything under 7 years of age. For a rating of 3, it is between 8 to 15 years of age. For a rating of 2, it means it's between 16 to 24. For a rating of 1, it is between 25 and 32 years of age. And any reclosures that are above 33 years of age would be given a rating of 0. Now, before we move on further into our course, let us take a brief look at our sponsor for this course. Now, as an engineer, especially when I first started in my career, I really felt overwhelmed the list of documents that we need to do on top of our technical work. Yet, these documents are very important in our career as it is the more prominent thing that displays our credibility to management and to our clients if we so decide to become an engineer consultant, which is where the real actual money is. Now, I don't have these tools available to me when I first started my career, but now PM Milestone has created this package of all the professional templates that you need so that you can focus more on the technical aspect of your career. These templates are tried and tested by real professionals, so you should feel confident in using them in your career to present your best foot forward in front of your manager or clients. These templates are also updated periodically, and I think their last update is just 2021, so they're not going to be out of date or context to the present times, as these people are serious in getting the most professional product to meet your needs. They're also very confident of the quality of these templates too, as they offer you their product completely risk-free with 60-day money-back guarantee if you are not satisfied with it. So, if you are interested in this product and would also like to support me in creating these courses on YouTube in the future, please check out their product using the link in my video description titled Course Sponsor PM Milestone 2.0. Now, the second category is the condition of the tank of the reclosure. So for a rating of 4, it means that the bus insulation is in good condition. The mega ohm readings from the reclosures prove acceptable. The bus shutters and interlocks are working properly. The installation is protected from things such as excessive dust, humidity, or things like high ambient temperature, etc. So it means that it's operating in a very good environment in this case. Now, for a rating of 3, it means that there are normal signs of wear, but nothing of particular importance. For a rating of 2, it may be that the stuff that I talked about, like the bus insulation, the bus shutters and interlocks, one of the things mentioned in what I mentioned in the rating 4 is proved to be unacceptable. Now, for a rating of 1, it means 2 of those mentioned characteristics, which is like, for example, either bus insulation and ohm readings are both unacceptable. And lastly, for a rating of 0, it means that the reclosure's tank is damaged or degraded beyond repair. The third category is condition of terminations. So for a rating of 4, it means the terminations are tight, free from corrosion, and shows no signs of overheating. For a rating of 3, it means that there are minor signs of wear regarding to the terminations. For a rating of 2, it means that there are significant signs of degradation with respect to what I've mentioned, but they do not impact safe operation of the reclosure. For a rating of 1, it means that there are major deficiencies of the terminations with respect to the characteristics that I mentioned, like the tightness, the degree of corrosion, overheating, etc. And it should be requiring repair during the next scheduled outage. And lastly, for a rating of 0, it means that there are major deficiencies with respect to the terminations, whether or not it is the looseness of it, the corrosion, or the heat. And this requires immediate repairs or replacement. Remember in the condition assessment, I was going about talking about the counter readings and why most utility probably wouldn't reset the counter readings and just keep on reading during the entire asset life cycle. Well, here is the category for counter reading, which is our 4th category. So in here, it basically is referenced against the maximum rated amount of operation that's being suggested by the manufacturer. So in this case, the counter reading would be very helpful during visual inspection. So for a rating of 4, it means that the counter reading is actually less than the 10% of maximum rated operation. For a rating of 3, it means that it is between 10 to 30% with regards to the maximum rated operation number. For a rating of 2, it means that it is between 30 to 50%. A rating of 1 is between 50 to 80%. So rating of 2 is 30 to 50. Rating of 1 is 50 to 80. And for rating of 0, it is anything that is any counter reading that is higher than 80% of the maximum rated operation suggested by the manufacturer. Now the fifth category is for oil type reclosures only, and this is oil leaks. So for a rating of 4, it means that there are no evidence of oil leakage at any of the bushing metal interfaces, flanges, breathers, pipes, or gauges, and the oil levels are deemed to be acceptable. For a rating of 3, it means that there are minor oil leaks exist, but moisture ingress is unlikely. For a rating of 2, it means that there are clear evidence of oil leaks on the reclosures, but the rate of loss is not likely to cause any operation or environmental impacts. For a rating of 1, it means that there are a significant oil leakage and there are probably moisture ingress on the reclosure. So it might mean that you might want to have a need for major reconditioning or replacement of the reclosure. For a rating of 0, it means that there are major oil leakage and the moisture ingress is so bad that the whole thing is actually beyond repair. Now, the sixth category is also for oil type only, and that is looking at the condition of the oil. So for a rating of 4, it means that the dielectric strength, moisture content, acidity, and the gas in oil within the DGA analysis indicates good condition of oil and no abnormal indications are detected. For a rating of 3, it means that the DGA analysis indicates minor deviation from acceptable levels, but it's nothing too major to worry about. Now for a rating of 2, it means the test results from one of the DGA analysis tests are beyond acceptable limits, indicating some abnormal activity. For a rating of 1, it means that the test results from 2 or more tests are unacceptable, and it means that there are definite indications of abnormal activity within the oil. And lastly, for a rating of 0, the test results indicates extremely poor insulation condition and would probably be requiring immediate replacement or reconditioning of the insulating oil in question. Now the seventh category is the integrity of vacuum bottles, and this is for only the vacuum type reclosures. So for a rating of 4, the vacuum bottle is free of contamination, chips, cracks, flashover burns, indications of overheating, and partial discharge traces, etc. And all cemented elements are secure. Now for a rating of 3, it means that there are normal signs of wear with respect to what I've just mentioned on the conditions, which is shown on your right, by the way. For a rating of 2, it means 1 or 2 of these conditions are unacceptable. For a rating of 1, it means more than 2 of these characteristics that I've put are unacceptable. And lastly, for a rating of 0, it means that the vacuum bottle is damaged or degraded beyond repair. And now we go to our last category, which is the condition of operating mechanism and control. And this actually is applying to all types of reclosures. So for a rating of 4, it means that the wiring, terminal blocks, contacts, and switches are all in good condition. The trip and close coils, auxiliary switches, motors, and springs are also in good condition. Linkages, shaft rods, trip latches are also clean and free from scratches, and there are no visible evidence of any poor settings like looseness or loss of adjustments, etc. So everything is good, and there are no signs of overheating also. Now, for a rating of 3, it means that there are normal signs of wear on the parts that I've mentioned, maybe some looseness of parts, but everything is still normal in this case. For a rating of 2, it means 1 or 2 of the conditions are actually deemed unacceptable, such that some of the parts might be not in good condition, or that there are some visible evidence of looseness or extra wear. So in this case, that it's deemed unacceptable. And for a rating of 1, it means more than 2 of those characteristics are unacceptable. And lastly, for a rating of 0, it means that that this particular operating mechanism and control are damaged and degraded beyond repair. So now let us look at the health index weights. So here we have the integrity of the vacuum bottle is going to be the highest weight in the where we put the weight of 6. But of course, that if you're not using a vacuum only type reclosures, then you don't need to worry about that. The next up, the service age, condition of tank, and the counter readings are given slightly higher than the other ones with a weight of 3. And the last one is the condition of terminations, oil leaks, condition of oil, as well as the condition of the operating mechanism and controls, with the lowest type of rating, which is the value of a 2. So now let us go over an example. Consider a vacuum-based reclosure of 17 years, which we will give a rating of 2 for that category, with normal signs of wear on the tank, which is the rating of 3. There are minor signs of wear on the terminations, which is a rating of 3, and the counter reading is only at 15% of the maximum number suggested by the manufacturer, so again a rating of 3. Now the vacuum bottles are free of contamination and chips, so we give it a rating of 4, and there are only normal signs of wear in the operating mechanism, so we are giving it a rating of 3. So with this information, calculate the health index for the reclosure. So of course, we first calculate the calculated score, which is basically summing up the rating times the weight of that particular category of the health index. So in this case, with the problems, we ended up with a score equal to 60. Then we calculate the maximum achievable score. So it's the maximum score, or 4, multiplied by the sum of the weights combined. So in this case, we get the number 76. So in this case, it'll be 60 over 76. So the number would be times 100, which is equal to 79. And as mentioned in the fundamentals previously, a value between 70 to 85 is considered good, and as such, there might be deterioration of some components and only normal maintenance are needed. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to click like and subscribe to our channel. Our channel, the EE Bootcamp, has a wealth of knowledge regarding to the energy industry, so be sure to check it out. Also, this video is part of a playlist of the whole course, and so I've put the link to the playlist for this free course in the video description. As you may be aware, I'm a professional online instructor that teaches various topics regarding to the energy industry and offers certificate of completion at the end of each course. As you probably have noticed, this course needs fundamental knowledge in basic asset management. Physical asset management is important, and the skills are highly sought after in many large companies within the energy industry, or any industry that manages large asset in infrastructures for that matter. If you lack knowledge in physical asset management, look no further than my Physical Asset Management Fundamentals course offered at Electrical Engineering Portal, as in that course, I will provide you with the fundamentals that you need to kickstart your career in the physical asset management world. Another type of knowledge that you need for this course is fundamental information about the power distribution system. If you don't have enough experience in the industry, I would suggest you to enroll in my Distribution Power Engineering Fundamentals course hosted on Udemy, as in that course, I will walk you through the different parts of the power distribution system as well as basic design concepts that you will need to kickstart your career in the industry. Now, I have put the links to both of these courses in the video description also. Lastly, I have also included the link to my website in the video description that contains the information to all the courses that I offer, as well as other helpful resources that you may find useful in your career or in your learning path. Thank you, and I wish you good luck in your career. Remember, knowledge is power.